some magic. I'm not very good at it. He gave me a magic wand the other day for beginners. A red one. But I don't know where I put it. So I borrowed that one. That one was Chicano's magic wand. You better not let me see me with it, otherwise I'll be in big trouble. Anyway, welcome to show number 2. Jungle Jane and Scratch the Talking Toucan Show. Hooray! We're going to have some exciting things. Oh yes. Jungle Jane said to me it's going to be the best show ever. And I believe my friend Chicano is going to be in it as well. How about that for magic? Well, on with the show. Enjoy it. So over to you, Jane, back at your house where you should be. See you later. Bye.
Oh, hello, Scratch. Hello, children. I've been cleaning up all morning. Have you heard? We've got a very special guest today. His name's Chicano and he's a magician. He's going to show us some amazing magic tricks. And I might have a few magic animals to show you too. I just can't wait. Can you? Now, I've been learning a magic trick at home and I'm going to show you how to do it too. Did you know? When you put both your arms together, they're the same length. But if you take your hand and your arm around and over your shoulder, it gets shorter and shorter. But don't worry, because if we go back the opposite way, it gets longer until they're the same length. Now that's pretty cool, but imagine an animal that just got longer and longer and longer. Well, I have an animal to show you that does just that. Just like magic, every time it has a shed, it grows one new segment. Why don't you come in a bit closer and have a look? Now, I promised you a magic animal, and this one for me is the most magic of them all. This is Millie. She's a giant African millipede. Isn't she just amazing? So African millipedes are the largest species of millipede in the world. They can get up to 30 centimetres in length, and they can live upwards of 10 years. Isn't that amazing? So Millie here is not quite full grown. She's nearly there. And the amazing magic trick that millipedes can do is that each time they shed, they grow one extra section. Now this answers the most often asked question about millipedes. How many legs do they have? Is it 1,000,000? Well, the answer is it's normally 100 to 400 legs. Each of these sections on Millie's body contain 2 pairs of legs. And every time she goes through a shed, she'll grow a whole new section. And along with it, 2 pairs or 4 extra legs. Now when Millie moves, if we can get her to go this way a little bit, you'll see it looks a little bit like a Mexican wave, because as she moves each section, she lifts the pairs of legs that go along with it. And it gets this beautiful rippling effect. Isn't she stunning? So millipedes are pretty friendly creatures. They're completely vegetarian. They'll live on leaf litter that they find on the forest floor and any vegetables that they can get their hands on. Millie is particularly fond of potato peelings. That's one of her favourite things to eat. And carrots and lettuce as well. There we go. We'll pop her down there. But one of my favourite facts about millipedes is they come from the family arthropod. And arthropods were thought to be one of the first creatures to walk on the earth 420 million years ago. That makes Millie a real dinosaur. Isn't she just beautiful? So today we promise you some truly magical animals. And for me, there can't come more magical than this little guy. He made his film debut in the Harry Potter film The Goblet of Fire. And this, let me just move this out of the way. Okay, maybe you can see him a little bit better up the top. This is a tailless whip scorpion. It's a species of arachnid, although it behaves a little bit more like a crab. They move sideways, they have large pincers at the front, and really big feelers to be able to see where they're going. They tend to live in the dark, in caves, and they're really good climbers, so they can scuttle up the walls really fast. Very, very creepy looking, but effectively absolutely harmless. Now, my tailless whip scorpion is called Mr. Tickle, and he's very, very cute, but he's also very shy. Mr. Tickle doesn't particularly like being handled, and it would really scare him for me to take him out of his enclosure. So what I'm going to do instead is bring you in a little bit closer, and you can have a look at him in his home. And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for. We're going to conjure up the magnificent magician, Chicano. Abracadabra, over to you.
Hello, I'm Chicano, everyone's favourite magician, and I've been asked by Jungle Jane and that naughty bird Scratch to come and show you a couple of tricks. So first of all, I need my trusty wand, because every magician needs a wand. But this isn't my wand. My wand is black with the gold ends, not red. I know what, if I say the magic word Chicano, which is my magic word, and slowly pull it through my hand like that, it now turns the right colour. Now I can do the magic. Okay, now the first trick I want to show you is a very simple one. It's called the 2 coin trick. And the reason why it's called that, because it uses 2 coins. This is an old-fashioned 10p piece. You won't know anything about those, but your parents will. And this is a 2p piece. Today, though, we're going to call them copper and silver. Oh, and that's the silver one, in case you're wondering. But it really is a simple trick. All I'm going to do is put the 2 coins into my hand like that. Close my hand up, reach inside and take one away. So, for instance, let's say we take away the copper coin. The copper coin goes back in my pocket, like that. And of course, that leaves me with the... No, I did say this was the 2 coin trick, because that's what I've got. I've got 2 coins. Maybe you didn't see it go. Well, try again. Are you ready? Copper, silver, silver, copper. Nothing else in my hands. Watch. The 2 coins go into my hand like that. I close my hand up, I reach inside and I take out the copper one. Not the silver one, the copper one. The copper one goes back in my pocket like that, and that leaves me with the 2 coins. I did say it was a 2 coin trick. Maybe you're getting confused about the colours, so I'll tell you what we'll do. This time, instead of taking away the copper coin, we'll take away the silver one. Maybe that will make it easier. Are you watching? I close my hand up, I reach inside, and I take out the silver one. The silver one goes into my pocket like that, and that leaves me with the... No. It leaves me none at all. That was a good trick. That's Scratch's favourite trick. This one is my favourite trick. Do you play cards? Do you play Snap, Happy Families? Well, I'll let you into a secret. If you play cards, you should buy a pack like this. You'll never lose at cards. For the simple reason, these cards are blank. Well, they are. So if you want something like the 4 of clubs, you just take one of these, you write 4 of clubs on it, stick it in your hand, you win, and everyone's happy. Isn't that good? No. People tend to get a little bit upset when you make homemade cards. However, if you've got a good imagination, you can go one step further. I mean, if you think of something simple, something like, for instance, the King of Hearts appears. If you want another one, we'll say, for instance, Jack of Hearts appears. Maybe you want a black one. No, not a red one. We want a black one. That's better. And you can keep imagining cards all afternoon and they'll keep on appearing. But there is a problem. Although they're beautifully printed, they don't have any backs. But apart from that, the cards are printed fine. People often say, but wait a minute, Chicano, why don't you print the backs? Well, if you think about it, maybe it's just a white drawing on a white card. And they go, no, don't be silly. Don't be silly. I mean, like, if you have the faces, why don't you just print the backs at the same time? Well, if that's the case, all you have to do is concentrate on backs and backs appear. Yeah. Trouble is, though, they don't have any faces. But that's all you do. You just run the deck like this and you go back. As soon as the word back, another one appears. But again, no face. Well, you can't play cards with backs with no faces, can you? And you can't play with faces without any backs. So I'll tell you what you do. If you concentrate on the faces, I'll concentrate on the backs, then maybe, and only maybe, we can end up with a full deck of cards ready to play any card game you like. But there is a problem with this, of course. Because it's done with thought and with magic, it doesn't always last. And sometimes, just for a second, your mind might go a little bit blank. And when it goes blank, you really do have a problem. Because you now end up with 52 pieces of blank piece of card on both sides, and you're back where you started from. With no cards at all, just 52 pieces of blank playing cards. Well, that's the magic for this week. Maybe I'll come along in a few weeks' time. But whatever you do, stay at home and stay safe. We'll see you soon. Over to you, Jane. Bye.
Wow, that was a magical show today. Thank you so much to Chicano for coming and showing us all those amazing tricks. And we're going to be back next week on Friday at Jungle Jane and Scratch with a whole new show. We're going to be showing you some animals that come from down under in Australia, some that live in the bush, and some that fly around in the sky. So we can't wait to see you and tell you all about them. Now, this week we've started a brand new competition. You may have noticed that Jungle Jane and Scratch have hidden some letters inside of the show, and we'll be hiding some more next week. Once you've watched next week's show, put all the letters together, make a word for a really creepy animal, and you can submit it to us and win a prize. See you later, explorers. Bye!
Hi, it's me back again. Wasn't that a great show? Oh, I thought that was brilliant. And as for Chicano, well, his magic was, well, just magic. How does he do those things? I really don't know, and he won't tell me. But I know where my red wand went to. Did you see it? Chicano had it. Well, that's it for this week. If you're watching us on Facebook, then press like. If you're watching us on YouTube, why not press subscribe? And you'll be able to see the show every single week. Oh, and before I go, Jungle Jane told me to say that the letter in the competition is L. That's L. So now you have 2 letters. Well, we'll see you next week. Stay safe and stay healthy. Yay!